Hi there. I think I started reading my book to you along about December this year. Um, so I'm going to skip back to the very beginning of it when I first went home and moved with my mother to be her caregiver in near the end of August 1994. I started out with a poem, Mama walking through the house that doesn't feel like home. You've forgotten it, as well as all your children. One day you woke up and those memories were gone. You walked the floors in worry, wishing for cattle on land, for food, for cash crops. You just can't understand how it is today, why we don't need all that. Your mind is still in the years of the Great Depression. You walk and worry. I try to explain to you there's nothing to worry about. I cook and tell you where it's at when it's time to eat, and I give you your pills. I clean the house. I'm here for you. We've got all we need. We've got each other. Please don't die, Mama. You're all I got. Um, Let me get those reading glasses again if I can find them. I keep letting them get away from me, and I really need them for reading this, but I may have to do them without them today because I can't seem to find them. Oh well, I think we can manage maybe. Okay. Uh, and that was a picture of my mother at the back door. If I hold it far enough away, I can read it. Tuesday, August 23rd, 1994. I guess I've always been a dreamer. Always had high hopes, always such high hopes. I always thought I could save the world. With every year I've lived and every dream that's died, I've come to realize I'm just one more human struggling to survive each day, and I cannot change the world. Yet I thought it would be different this time. I'm my mother's baby, her little girl who she loves so much. Surely I'm the one person who could make it all better for her. All I had to do was to quit school and come home to live with her, and she would be all better. And I was in graduate school, library school at the time, at Florida State University. I couldn't have done otherwise after hearing her wish for that so much and seeing her cry so hard as I left the end of each visit. So I came. My announcement on Saturday, along with the flowers, brought the desired effect. She cried and grinned from ear to ear all day long, but it wasn't long until that wore off. Sometimes I think she doesn't know me at all. My dreams of making my mother all better show how little I know about Alzheimer's, I guess. But I had to do this. but I had to do this. And it is an adventure. I never know what will happen each night, how many times we will get up. Um, how many times we will get up. She will get up thinking it's morning, or the thing she will say in the middle of the night, off down to another adventure. Saturday, August 27th, uh, 19, and I'm conscious of my chubbiness. I must be really chubby in this t-shirt and one of my snow, one of my wishing for snow t-shirts. This was Casual Friday at the library, so there's no place like the library. Okay, where was I? Saturday, August the 27th, 1994. I've been here for a week now, and I'm over my initial shock at my mother not knowing me, and I'm over my what have I done phase of early in the week. This feels good. It is good for a change. I'm giving a little bit of myself, and I like it. My mother and I are getting along fine. There are times when things don't go terribly well, but I'm learning what works and what doesn't. I've even been rewarded a couple of times in the past 2 days with her saying, I love you and I'm glad you came to stay with me. That's worth it all, the waking up at night, all the trouble getting pills down and getting her to eat when she doesn't want to, and all the endless questions, same questions over and over about people from the past and other people she thinks are living in the house. Yes, I'm glad I came. I'm very glad. I hope I can make the rest of my mother's life just a little more pleasant. Sunday, September 18th, 1994. I've been with my mother a full month now. Only in the last 2 days and nights I have seen what my sister had told me about the bad part of some sort of cycle my mother goes through. Um, about the same time each month, the full moon maybe, when my sister describes my, our mother is actually being mean. I slept no more than 3 hours last night. Tonight I slept only an hour, but I don't dare go to sleep now at 2 a.m. Even though my mother has finally fallen asleep, not in her bed, but in her chair in the living room. I don't dare try to go back to bed. When I did that last night, it took over an hour walking through the house. And even outside to get her calmed down, she was looking for that girl who would take me home and show me where to sleep. Every time we walked through the house, I showed her the bed, and that's was she wanted to lie down, and um, but I couldn't convince her that this was her home and that was her bed. And finally, she went to sleep in her chair between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. Then she got up at 4 a.m. and went to sleep in her bed until 6, and I got 2 of my 3 hours of sleep on the couch from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Then I couldn't get back to sleep. Tonight she got up looking for the baby. She had already experienced some anger toward me when I helped her go to the bathroom. Then she had a dream and woke up talking about something that was dangerous for the baby that would poison it. She wandered around the house for a while, and just before she fell asleep in her chair, she told me, "You watch the baby. Don't let anything happen to it." I worry that one of these nights she will wake up looking for the baby and not finding it, think I've done something to harm it. All I could do is sit up and watch her as she sleeps, hoping that when she wakes, she will have forgotten for tonight her obsession with the baby. I'm so tired, but I have to stay awake. Most of the time, when I do fall asleep, my mother wakes and is angry because I'm not doing something she thinks I should be doing. I don't know how long I could do this, but I'm still glad I came. I will do my best. I will try to take good care of my mother for as long as I can. I don't know how much we'll read, maybe a little more. I'm so tired today, and it's been a first week back at work after the holidays. Really tired, but I guess I'll read a little bit more. Yesterday was a wonderful day, even though it didn't get off to a pleasant start. I didn't get any more sleep until about 7 p.m. last night when my mother went to bed, and I too fell into bed exhausted without bothering to take a shower. After sitting up much of the night at 3 a.m., I thought she was going to be back to bed, but when we got there, she wouldn't go. She said she couldn't. She just sat there, so we went back to the living room. She sat in her chair again. At 4:30, she seemed wide awake, so I thought I would go ahead and start breakfast. Because most mornings she was up by this time anyway, even if she had fallen asleep again. I waited till she woke up and I asked her to come to breakfast. She said no, that she wasn't hungry. I tried to get at 6 a.m., but she still said she wasn't hungry. I asked her about getting in the shower and getting dressed because we always went to my sister's next door for Sunday dinner. She said no, she wasn't getting in the shower, she wasn't getting dressed, she wasn't going anywhere all day. I waited an hour or so before trying again to get her to eat breakfast. Finally, around 7:30, when I asked her if she could eat a little breakfast, she said, "I guess so." She ate about three-fourths of her breakfast before saying she couldn't eat any more. Usually she eats half or less. After breakfast, I asked her about getting in the shower. She said no. I did the dishes and then sat by her for a while, and then maybe an hour later I asked her again. She still refused the bath, but she agreed to put on a dress. When I asked her about going to my sister's, her answer was still no. Each time she responded and mumbled something that made me wonder if she really knew what I was asking. She went to sit on the swing on the front porch, her favorite place, for a while, and then she came back and asked me what it was we needed to do. Why did I say we need to go to town? I told her that we didn't need to go to town, but we had just been invited by my sister, her other daughter, for Sunday dinner, just like always. She said she didn't feel like being around so many people. There's only my sister and her husband. We walked through the house and out to the backyard, and I followed her. We were going the direction of my sister's house. And then she asked, "Is it too early to go to Myrtle Lee's?" I told her no, that I just needed to run back and lock the door. I did, and quickly called my sister. I called her a few minutes earlier to tell her we weren't coming. It was a wonderful day. My mother ate well. She didn't get restless until mid-afternoon, though she always enjoys being at my sister's. Once we get there, she often wants to leave as soon as we eat, if not before. But it's good for her, I think, and it gives me a break. The only break I get, except for one Saturday a month, shopping, and when my sister visits each weekday for about an hour when she gets home from work. I've had some rough times lately, and I know there will be more, but days like this one turned out to make it all worthwhile. It's now, this is Friday, September 30th, 1994. It's now 4 a.m., and I've been up with my mother since midnight. Actually, we've been up and down since midnight. It's about the third time she come to sit in my lap in the living room. This time she's having one of what my sister calls her dying spells. It appears to be indigestion usually, but this time there seems to be some neck and ear pain. And she's fallen asleep now in her chair using a heating pad. Each time the home health nurse comes, my mother seems to be in good shape, good blood pressure and temperature. The nurse always hears a lot of gas in my mother's stomach. One day last week, I called the nurse because my mother was having chest pains and thought she was dying. The nurse came and everything was fine. She got her to take the Alka-Seltzer that Mama wouldn't take from me, and then she started feeling great, attributing it to the nurse who came and saved her life. Until this night, she's been sleeping better at night. I don't want to give her more thorazine unless I have to. Sometimes more seems to make her more hyper instead of relaxed. And the thorazine was for her hallucinations at night. And I'm not sure if it really helped. Uh, it made her sleepier most of the time. And sometimes when I gave it to her, it made her incontinent. Anyway, I guess that's all for now because I'm so tired and busy week and had a lot going on. And uh, so I will be back again next Friday. Have a good week. Bye.